Your habit usually does not collapse because you stopped wanting it. Most of the time, the desire is still there. You still want to train. You still want to read. You still want to focus, write, study, or eat better. The dangerous moment usually comes after one missed repetition. At first, the miss is just an event. You missed one workout. You lost one morning. You broke the rhythm for one day. Then the event starts to mean something. I missed today becomes, here we go again. And once the miss starts to feel like evidence that the old version of you is still true, returning feels harder than stopping. The habit begins to collapse because the meaning of the event changed what happened next. The usual explanation feels incomplete. Maybe motivation faded. Maybe discipline was not enough. Maybe the plan had too much friction. Those things matter, but they do not explain the strange part. If motivation simply disappeared, why does the system return to the exact old behavior? Why does the old pattern come back? Because starting a habit and keeping it alive after disruption are not the same problem. Starting is often powered by dissatisfaction. Something becomes clear enough that you decide to change. For a while, that emotional push lowers the cost of beginning. But survival depends on what your system expects from you when that momentum is gone. It depends on what feels like you. Your brain keeps a working model of what someone like you usually does. Not a motivational idea, a practical forecast. This is what I do. This is what I avoid. The old behavior has history behind it. The new behavior may have intention behind it, but it may not have enough evidence yet. So the old behavior feels like, this is what I do. The new behavior can still feel like, this is what I am trying to do. That difference matters when life gets heavier. When things are calm, the new habit may hold. But when pressure rises or attention drops, the familiar path becomes cheaper. It requires less explanation. It matches the older prediction. It restores a version of you the brain knows how to run. Imagine you have been training consistently for a few weeks. Then a stressful day hits, and you miss the workout. That is not collapse yet. That is a lapse. A lapse is a missed repetition, a break in the behavior. The collapse begins when that lapse turns into identity evidence. I missed today becomes, I am inconsistent again. Now the return is delayed. The next day feels heavier. The old pattern has more room. The missed workout has become a verdict. That is the conversion point. Misidentity interpretation, delayed return, old pattern restored. The miss did not destroy the habit by itself. The meaning of the miss changed what you did next. There is a loop underneath this. The old self-model says, this is what I am usually like. That creates an expectation of old behavior. The new habit takes effort because it is not self-consistent yet. Then a lapse occurs. The lapse becomes evidence for the old self. Because it feels like evidence, return is delayed. Because return is delayed, the old behavior resumes. Because the old behavior resumes, the old identity feels confirmed. That is the identity restoration loop. It does not mean you secretly never wanted the habit. It means the old pattern still has a stronger claim on what feels familiar and self-consistent. Once a miss confirms that older expectation, the system restores what it already knows. This is also why the old pattern can feel relieving. Not because it is always enjoyable. Often it is not. But it is predictable. It reduces effort. Sometimes the old pattern wins not because it feels good, but because it ends the uncertainty. That is why shame rarely fixes the loop. Shame can make the old identity feel even more true. And when the old identity feels true, surrender can feel like relief before it feels like regret. So the solution is not to guarantee that you never miss. Life will interrupt you. The real intervention point is after the miss, before the miss becomes a verdict. You do not need to protect a perfect streak. You need to protect the return. Protect the return is simple, but it is not soft. It protects the moment where a lapse becomes either recovery or collapse. First, notice. Catch the lapse before it becomes a story. Do not let the first sentence be, "I am falling apart." Make it, "I missed today." Then name. Describe what happened without turning it into identity. "I missed one workout" is usable. "I am inconsistent again" feeds the loop. Then, return. Make the smallest valid re-entry into the behavior. Valid means real. It has to be observable, connected to the original pattern, and small enough to happen before shame becomes a plan. If the full workout is gone, the return might be 10 minutes of movement. If the full writing block is gone, it might be one focused paragraph. This is not compensation. It is not punishment. It is contact with the pattern. Finally, record. Recognize what the return proves. Not, "I am perfectly disciplined now." That would be fake. The evidence is more precise. I missed, and I returned. You can write it down, track it, or simply recognize it. The point is to make sure the return does not disappear as if it meant nothing, because the old identity uses evidence. The new identity has to use evidence too. In exercise, a missed workout does not need to become a lost week. The return might be 5 or 10 minutes of valid movement. The point is not to erase the miss. The return is the evidence. In focused work or studying, a lost deep work block does not need to become a day of avoidance. The return might be one short, focused block on the next concrete task. The point isn't re-entry before avoidance becomes the plan. In reading, a skipped session does not need to become, "I never stick with books." The return might be one page, or one brief real session. The point is continuity. In nutrition or daily health, one disrupted meal does not need to become punishment, starvation, or giving up until Monday. The return is the next available aligned choice. No drama, no debt, no identity collapse. Different habits, same conversion point. The lapse tries to become identity evidence. The return interrupts it. There are a few ways to misuse this. The first is compensation. Compensation tries to erase guilt. Recovery restores continuity. If you turn the return into punishment, the lapse starts to feel like a debt. Debt makes avoidance more attractive. The second mistake is treating the minimum return as the new permanent standard. It is not. The minimum return is a recovery action. It protects the pattern when the full version is unavailable. The third mistake is replacing evidence with affirmation. Identity changes when behavior accumulates enough proof to update expectation. The fourth mistake is worshiping the streak. A streak can be useful evidence, but if it becomes the only evidence, one break can make the whole identity feel destroyed. Return after disruption has to count too. The fifth mistake is waiting for Monday. Monday feels clean, but delay gives the old pattern more time to become normal again. The return does not have to be large. It has to be close enough to interrupt restoration. This is the identity shift. The old definition says consistency means never breaking the pattern. That definition is too fragile for real life. Consistency means returning before the break becomes the new pattern. One return does not rebuild identity. It gives the system one piece of evidence, then another. Over time, the prediction changes. The brain starts to learn, when I miss, I return. That is different from pretending you never fail. It is an identity that can survive interruption. So the next time a habit breaks for a day, do not rush to explain who you are. The miss is not ready to define you. Notice it. Name it cleanly. Return small. Record the evidence. Your habit does not collapse because one day went wrong. It collapses when that day becomes a verdict, and the verdict keeps you from returning. So stop trying to prove that you never break the pattern. Prove that you know how to return. The habit does not die when you miss. It dies
It dies when you stop returning.